Hello everybody, I am Attila Tanner. Welcome to a brand new video of Next Stock. I hope you're all doing well. It's been 2 weeks since the last video. We're ready for a new one. We're going to go over the highlights of the companies that recently reported. Then we're going to go over the regular reporting. So let's start with the highlights. This is the companies that recently reported, some of them. Alibaba reported 11% year-over-year sales growth, with a target rate for them has been increased to $108. So there is an upside for Alibaba. eBay reported a 5% year-over-year sales growth. Target rate for them has been increased to $47, and there is an upside for eBay. JP Morgan reported 21% year-over-year sales growth. Target rate for them has been increased to $174, so there is an upside for JP Morgan. And Nvidia, much talked about lately, has an impressive 206% year-over-year sales growth. Target rate for them has been increased to $446. However, they are trading higher than that at the moment. All right, other companies that recently reported, Robinhood reported a 29% year-over-year sales growth. Target rate for them has been lowered to $11.80, but there is still an upside for Robinhood. Sea Limited reported a 5% year-over-year sales growth. Target rate for them has been lowered to $46, but there's an upside for Sea Limited. Tencent reported an 8% year-over-year sales growth. Target rate for them has been increased to $94, so there's an upside for Tencent. Warner Music reported a 6% year-over-year sales growth. Target rate for them has been increased to $40, so there's an upside for Warner Music as well. All right, that was the highlights for this time around. Before going into the regular reporting, I'm going to say there's some good news for our Canadian traders since Momo is in town. And with Momo, you can lower your commissions for trading as low as $1.99 per trade. But of course, if you depends a little bit also how many shares you're trading. So let's say if you were buying 400 shares of a company, you will end up paying $3.96 for that trade. And of course, that's quite lower compared to maybe what you're used to. Maybe you're paying $9.95 for each trade. So basically, you will save yourself a cost of a coffee for each transaction you're doing with Momo. I also want to mention how I use Momo personally. On my phone, here's an example on the phone. I go to the markets at the bottom, and on the top, I select the market of US. And then on the screen here, I can see the earnings calendar. I like that a lot because I can see which companies are soon going to report. And just under it, I can see there is an earnings hub. So if I select that one, then I can also see there is some conference calls that maybe I want to join or not join. I can cancel it. But also below that, I can see other companies that recently reported and a little bit of a fast information about them, like how much revenues they had and what's going on. And it's a full list of all of them. So it's really, really nice feature. So check it out. You can sign up using the link I have on the show notes, and then you can download it on the desktop and as well as on mobile. All right, now back to the regular reporting. We're going to start with the US market and the value stocks there. JP Morgan is number 1, Exxon Mobil is number 2, and we have a newcomer in Chevron on spot number 3. They have a $273 billion market cap and price to earning of 11. Tencent, who was in the list, is out from top 3. So here we are looking at big companies, like high market cap companies, which also have low price to earnings. So they became more stable companies, kind of cornerstone maybe of your portfolio. Dividends could be good also in your portfolio if you wish. Verizon is there, spot number 1. AT&T is number 2, and 3M is number 3. Growth stocks in the US market. So here we are comparing sales growth versus stock price growth. So it's a relation between the two. So Rivian retained spot number 1 after the report, 149% year-over-year sales growth, while the stock price was going down 49%. Li Auto also had an amazing 264% year-over-year sales growth, while the stock price was up 84%. Unity had a good also report, 89% year-over-year sales growth, while the stock price was declining 8%. HDFC Bank was in the list, is out from top 3. Pricey ones in the US market, this is the reverse, basically that the sales are growing, their stock price is growing faster than the sales, or the sales are declining. So Wish is here on spot number 1 following the report. They had sales were declining 52%, while the stock price was up actually 134%. Palantir is on spot number 2. They went up to that position from last time around. Coinbase is a newcomer, spot number 3. They had a 14% year-over-year sales growth, while the stock price was up 44%. Xpeng and Nvidia is out following the report from the Pricey list. That's the US market. We're gonna dive into the Canadian market and the value stocks there. Royal Bank is number 1, TD Bank is number 2, and Canadian Natural Resources is number 3. Dividends in the Canadian market, Tourmaline Oil is number 1, Enbridge is number 2, followed by Algonquin Power and Utilities. Growth stocks in the Canadian market, First Quantums moves up to spot number 1, followed by RB Global, who follows them to spot number 2. Baytex Energy is a newcomer on spot number 3. They had a sales growth of 63%, while the stock price was going down 8%. Nuvei, who was in the list before, is out from top 3. Pricey ones in the Canadian market, Great West Lifeco is on spot number 1 following the report. Sales decline of 98%, while the stock price was up 48%. Power Corporation is on spot number 2. Also sales declined heavily, 85%, while the stock price was up 19%. Onyx is on spot number 3 because they have a high price to sale ratio, but also the sales declined 3%, and while the stock price was up 39%. Syncor, who was in the list, is out from top 3. All right, this was the report for this time around. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, like and subscribe, and hopefully the next video will be in 2 weeks' time. Meanwhile, you can follow me on X, NextStockYT is the handle. I will tweet whenever there is some important earnings results coming up. Always gather a lot of information before jumping ahead purchasing stocks. Why not sign up for Momo using my link below? All right, take care. Until next time. Bye-bye.